Kabi, I'll need to get your closing remarks in just a few because we need to wrap up. But let's still talk about the balance. These two look like they have it all together.
Yes.
They're able to assist their children to balance the two. But if there's a parent out there who has a challenge, one of the masters that the children is having is suffering, what do you tell them?
What I can tell a parent who has a child who actually is failing in one area and excelling in the other area, what we normally do as parents, the normal way of doing things, is to push the child to work harder in the area where they are failing or in the area where they have a weakness. And I like to use the example of a kangaroo. A kangaroo has two very strong feet and two arms that are weak. You can take a lot of time trying to convince the kangaroo to be on its fours so that it can run, because when you're on your fours, you have more power and you have more speed. Forgetting that these 2 feet that the kangaroo has can be strengthened and enable the kangaroo to run at the same speed with somebody who is on their fours. So if you have a child who has a talent and you have identified the talent and the child wants to nurture that talent, it is good to allow the child to spend time in it. The more you practice on something, the better you become at it. You don't become perfect. You can't attain the perfect mark, but the better you become at it. But why do you need to balance the two? Because you can have talent and not be able to express yourself. You're invited here for an interview, you've been asked a question, you have no idea how to answer, you have no idea how to express yourself. So it is important for the parent to let the child know the reason why you need to practice your talent and improve it and development is so that it can improve you and make you better. And why you need to get education is because having the talent is not enough. Like you said, it's a SIM card and credit. They go together. One cannot do without the other. You have to be able to present yourself. You have to be able to carry yourself a certain way. Then it gives value your talent. Because without adding value to it, it just becomes plain talent. And you fall in the category of everybody else who has talent. A lot of people can sing. A lot of people can dance. A lot of people are gymnasts. But what distinguishes you? What makes you stand out? What makes you as different from the other person is the skills and the effort that you have put into it. That's why it's important to strike the balance. Here is the trick. The parents don't tell the child why it's important to go to school and gain education. They are doing their talent, they are already gaining exposure, they are probably earning from it, and here you are insisting you need to go to school. So tell them why you need to go to school. You illustrate, you use people who are out there who have talents, and when they go for interviews, their likes automatically go down. Everybody thinks, na vile mtu alikuwa anaimba vizuri, but your interview, ilimwangusha, it flipped you down because they were not able to carry themselves, they were not able to express themselves, they were not even able to articulate what is it that they are doing. So how are you able to do it? You acquire skills. You go to school, you get educated, you learn how to express yourself, you learn how to construct a sentence and a proper one that is acceptable. That's why you have to balance the two. But just because you have a weak area here, it doesn't mean that you're inadequate. It doesn't mean that you can't race. It just means you need to strengthen where your strength is and then to empower, to enable this part to make up for the areas that you have a weakness. So that's why you need to strike the balance. It's a SIM card and credit. One cannot do without the other.
SIM card and credit. I like that. Great insights, Nyokabi. We need to talk about the competency-based curriculum, the CBC. Kwanza wewe Mesha, tuanze na wewe. Juu Stacy wako na mtihani